Welcome to my channel. This is the Bloom Room. If it's your first time here, welcome. It's my second time here. It's my first real video. The video is going to be broken into two parts, both titled Spirituality for Beginners. So this is a good place to start if that's you, and also maybe just for some skeptics who don't buy into this kind of thing. I'm just going to explain why it's real, why it's science, and why it's not really controversial. Let's get started. We all learned about matter, right? What's matter? Everything. Cars, shoes, clothes, me, you, food, grass, everything is matter. Under a matter, you're going to find molecules. What's inside a molecule? Atoms. It all begins with atoms. So what's really an atom? If you were to take a microscope and put an atom under there, look really deep, what you're going to find is hella vortices of energy, constantly spinning, constantly vibrating, and constantly giving off their own unique energy signature. Vibration scientifically is when energy contracts to its neutral point. This is a neutral point, this is energy, and it's going towards it, basically. Another term to go with vibration is oscillation. It's the opposite of vibration when it expands away from its neutral point. Together they form what's commonly known as just vibrating. Not many people call it vibrating and oscillating. We just call it vibrating. Together they also form what is called a frequency, aka unique energy signature. Frequency is basically the rate at which energy expands and contracts, how fast something vibrates. So the energy that is created from vibration is what causes everything to emit its own frequency. It's important to know that everyone and everything has its own frequency, which is why I called it a unique energy signature. We're just all different. We're all on different levels of consciousness. That's how a frequency can be thought of. Frequency can also be thought of as a radio dial. If you've read the book Asking It Is Given by Esther Hicks, life-changing book, you need to go read it. But she explains frequency as a radio dial as well. If you're on 99.7 and you want to hear a song on WDBR, but you're on 99.7, you're not going to hear the song, man. Why? Because you're not tuned into the station that's broadcasting what you want to hear, so you're not going to receive it. You're totally on a different frequency. A high frequency is where us humans are naturally supposed to be. We are supposed to evolve way beyond what we are now. So the higher the frequency, the closer you are to God, in a sense. You're more God-like, you're more peaceful, calm, centered. You're at one with everything around you, everything you come in contact with, every situation, every person, every animal, and you're at one with your thoughts. You're just in alignment is a perfect way to say it. So when you're vibrating lower, you're going to actually be more in an animal plane of thought and life, in a sense of you're very instinctive. Higher frequency means you're very intuitive. Intuitive versus instinctive is a big difference. That's why there are people who can kill other people, they can fucking eat each other, they can do all kinds of terrible things with no remorse. They're on the animal plane, you know. They are in survival of the fittest, everyone's against them. They aren't able to see the world for what it really is. If you're vibrating higher, doesn't make you better than someone who's vibrating lower. We're all on our own path, which has its own distinct timing. So everyone has their own frequency, but everything physical, everything that we perceive with our five senses, it has to be in a certain range, a certain frequency, a certain radio station for us to be able to perceive it. For example, a dog whistle. You know, dogs can hear that really high-pitched sound that we aren't able to perceive because dogs are in a different frequency than us. Another example, people who are more open-minded, more open and receptive to life's magic, to the unknown, are more inclined to experience all that is magic, all that is unknown. When you're close-minded, your frequency is low, you're vibrating low, and your energy is literally blocking off that which it doesn't want to believe. In other words, you will never experience something that you don't believe to be true, even if it is, just because of this up here. If we know that inside of an atom there are little vortices of energy constantly spinning and vibrating, you look inside one of those vortices, you find even more vortices, all vibrating, all spinning. We know that this physical reality is not so physical. Everything is vibrating. Yeah, everything. but it's either doing so too fast or too slow to where we aren't able to perceive it. So inside of us we have energy. Our atoms are energy. Our thoughts are also energy too, even though they're intangible, they're also energy. It's outside of our frequency, our radio station, to perceive thoughts physically, but it can be thought of as this, where mind is static energy, your thoughts are dynamic energy. Mind, behind the voice in your head that's constantly going, the mind is calm, it's still, it's peaceful. Thought is what makes it dynamic, right? Thought is what makes it feel like there's a million thoughts racing through your head. Sometimes you can really feel it. So basically, it's because when you think, you're making your mind dynamic, you're creating energy. The energy created by your thoughts is going to be the frequency that you emit. You are going to emit a corresponding frequency to the thoughts that you're thinking. That's why all these spiritual people say, be careful what you think, you know, your thoughts change your life, your thoughts are your reality, because our minds don't know what's real and what's not. Our minds just believe what we tell it to. This is because when an atom changes its state, it absorbs and emits electromagnetic frequencies. Different states of emotion, perception, feelings, thoughts result in different electromagnetic frequencies because, like we said, you emit whatever you think. So now I'm going to explain a spiritual term, which is, we are light. That is a real ass statement. How so? This is because every cell in our body is lined up in such a way that it has positive and negative voltage, right? That sounds like electricity to me. So every cell has about 1.4 volts of energy. Yeah, you heard that right. So you multiply 1.4 volts times the 50 trillion cells that we have in us, and pulsing through us all the time is 700 trillion volts of energy. We're electric. There's no way around that. We are pure light and electricity. The electricity that we're giving off, you know, our frequency, can also be measured for a certain radius outside of the body, and this is what's called our aura. It looks like a energy force field. There's just several layers to our aura that are all different colors, or said to be different colors. They're ever changing. Since nothing is solid in this world, our auras are always changing. It's kind of like a mood ring, but a huge ass mood ring that you wear on the outside of your body. Most people can't see auras physically because not in their frequency, but the very spiritually adept person can visually see auras. And there's also like technology now where you can take a picture in the photograph, it's going to show your aura. So that's really dope. But that's an aura. So this energy can be measured for a certain radius outside of our physical body, and that's why we can feel vibes. That's why we can feel other people's energy sometimes too. Your thoughts make up your frequency, and the frequency that your thoughts create also absorb other people's. Why? Because it's all energy, you know? We're all composed of the same thing. We're all made of the same stuff in a sense. So basically, we're all atomic waves. It's impossible to separate atomic waves. It's impossible. So our waves will always meet no matter what. When two atomic waves meet, they can either meet in sync and have a harmonious effect, like you meet somebody, you really fuck with them and you're like, yeah, I like your vibe. Or they can meet and they can repel each other, and they can be out of sync, in which you're like, ooh, I'm feeling bad vibes around this person. Or I can tell, even though they may act all like a good person, I can tell that there's just something about them that's no good. It's because we're all connected. Our cells, the cells in our body, know exactly what nourishes us, what's toxic for us. Feelings are important and we're taught to just ignore them. So this video is almost over, but first I want to go back to the atom. So we know inside of atom there's hella vortices of energy, and if you were to look past the vortices, look even deeper in that microscope, you would observe that the atom actually has no physical structure. Yeah, you heard that right. The atom has no physical structure. Yeah. If you're like, I don't care, well, you should, because the implications for that are huge. The atom has no physical structure, and everything here is made of atoms. First we found out that everything vibrates and everything looks solid, but it's not. Now we find that nothing actually has a physical structure because the atoms inside of it are just invisible energy mostly. So I'm gonna kind of close up the video with some last minute research. So in 2001, NASA launched a project called the WMAP. It stands for the Wilkinson Microwave Anisotropy probe. I don't know. It's called the WMAP, and their purpose was to make and record some measurements of the universe and its properties using an X-ray camera. So there's another part to this, which included like a baby picture of the universe and an add-on to the Big Bang Theory. But since I don't want to make this video really long, I just want to talk about the pie graph. They found out what the universe is comprised of, and they made a pie map which looks like this. And the pie map shows the circle, which represents the universe. It shows some little pieces of pie. The smallest piece of pie that you see on the pie graph is atoms. 4.6% of the universe is composed of atoms, right? Right, we knew that. No, everything's made of atoms, right? No, only 4.6% of the whole universe is made of atoms. Wait, what? Nah. Yeah, 4.6% of all that we've ever known to be true. That's planets, galaxies, all that we know to be true, not even just Earth, is atoms. Are you scared yet? So what else is there? 24% of the universe is dark matter, which dark matter, all they know is that it has gravity, so its purpose is to keep the galaxies from flying apart, but it also keeps them in a cluster as they travel through time and space. 71% of the universe, most of the whole universe, is a scientific mystery. Yeah, 71% of the universe, they don't know what it is. All they know is that it pervades all of universal space. It's everywhere. It's causing evolution. It's causing the universe to expand and evolve. And they don't know what it is. It doesn't emit light. It doesn't have gravity. It's just invisible energy. Why is no one talking about this? Like, shouldn't this stuff be added to textbooks? Like, this was in 2001. It's 2017. I found out about this all on my own, searching the good old World Wide Web, and this is kind of fucking nuts. So not only is the atom mostly empty space, but the universe is also mostly empty space. And I'm putting it in quotes because we can't possibly believe that everything is mere blind energy. It's not mere blind energy. Dark energy is a source of very intelligent energy, which is the reason for life itself. To me, that sounds like God. This WMAP mission, to me, proved that there's so much that we don't know. There's so much more to life than we know to be true. So in the next video, I'm going to be explaining, if everything's mostly empty space, how can we perceive it? I'm going to explain how our brains do the trick of really tricking us into believing that everything around us is solid and it's really here. And life is just so nuts, man. Life is so crazy, dude. Just look around you and think about how you're on this planet where you look up and the sky is so blue and so pretty, and you look down, there's grass just growing. It just knows how to grow, right? It just knows how to grow. Flowers? Are you serious? How are flowers real?